Been separated from his mother a few months. He's 9 months old. At full growth, however, he'll weigh about 1,000 pounds and will be able to run at speeds up to 40 miles an hour. But he does that on legs, the main bones of which are thinner than those of a man's. He is, in short, one of God's most fragile creatures, subject to all kinds of hairline fractures and bows and strange illnesses. Seldom, I think, actually, in the history of the thoroughbred, has the fragility of the animal been pointed up as much as it was in this year of 1984.
That fragility breeds danger, and the tension is felt every morning on the backside in a stable area.
Morning on the backside. This is the chaplain. I'd like to read from God's Word this morning from the Gospel of Luke. And I tell you, everyone who acknowledges Jesus before men, the Son of Man also will acknowledge before the angels of God. But he who denies Jesus before men will be denied before the angels of God. Have a good and safe morning. God bless each one of you.
Fragile though it is, the thoroughbred is a quick learner. It stands within minutes after it is born and walks beside its mother on the same day. And within 3 years, it must be ready for the effort of a lifetime. Seldom has one been favored as Devil's Bag was this year. He was syndicated for millions as a 2-year-old, but he was beaten in Florida, injured and retired to stud before Derby Day arrived. The torch was passed to his stablemate, Swale, a son of Triple Crown winner Seattle Slew. Beautifully bred, magnificently conformed, Swale improved with each month and came up to the day of the Kentucky Derby ready to take on the world. Life on the backside has a tranquility and poignancy about it, as well as the underlying feeling of danger and excitement on Derby Day. Out front, it's a different story.
Ice cold man julep. How about a man julep here?
To the crowd, it's a party and a holiday, an annual occasion for fun in the bluegrass country. To some, a mathematical puzzle that this time they will solve correctly. But then the starting gate is sprung. From a crop of about 35,000 foals, 20 made it to the great race. And when they turned for home, Swale, who had run in the shadow of Devil's Bag all his 2-year-old season, finally came into his own.
Gaining ground on the outside, here comes at the threshold. They're into the stretch. It's Swale in front by 2. In the center of the track, fight over. On the outside, it's at the threshold. Coach Meat Chad now takes fourth. Then it's Life's Magic. On the extreme outside, Gate Dancer with Valley Time. They're nearing the finish. It's all Swale. He's there by 4 lengths. On the outside, Coach Meat Chad second. At the wire, it's Swale.
Woody Stevens, Swale's 70-year-old trainer, had been released from the hospital just long enough to watch the race in the Churchill Downs director's room. He had suffered with Devil's Bag and with his own illness, but now he had won. Gate Dancer, a strange sight in purple earmuffs to soften the sound of the crowd, danced out of the gate in the Derby, eventually became the first horse ever disqualified during the running of the great race. But 2 weeks later in the Preakness, it was a different story. Gate Dancer was the best runner-trainer Jack Van Berg ever had, and Jack has won more races than any trainer in history, but never the Preakness, never until this year.
Gate Dancer on the outside to the front. Fight over is second. On the inside, here comes Play On along with My Circle, and down the front they come. It's Gate Dancer showing the way by 2. Fight over on the outside, second. Play On gaining with every stride at the rail, and here's the finish. It's Gate Dancer with Onion for never.
So the blanket of black-eyed Susans belonged to Gate Dancer, as the blanket of roses had belonged to Swale. Later, the Belmont also went to Swale. The Hancock family of Kentucky and their partners were sitting on top of the equine world. And Swale, he was headed for a career that might equal his famous father's. The roses had been taken back to Claiborne Farm to wither and die and be pressed into scrapbooks. But Swale, he didn't wither, never that. But in one terrible, shocking moment, while having his bath on a June morning, Swale died in a manner never clearly explained and took his place in Claiborne's row of champions.